Hey guys! Today we are going to talk about 23 new features I found in the new Apple iOS 11. Yesterday Apple had their WWDC 2017 and they released new iOS, TVOS, macOS and WatchOS. And today I'm going to give you a live preview of the new iOS 11. I think there are some really cool new features in it, and if you like today's episode, don't forget to subscribe to my channel to stay up to date whenever I test new tech or stuff like this. So let's get right to it.
The new font. Apple introduced a new font in the new iOS 11. It's pretty big compared to the old font, but as we know from the old iOS versions, I expect some tweaking here. Number 2, the screenshot editor. When you take a screenshot, you get a little box on the left lower side, and when you click on it, you can adjust the size of the screenshot. You can write in that box with a set of tools and you can highlight different areas. You can even add in text, signatures or symbols. The Files app. With the new Files app, Apple is replacing the iCloud Drive app. You are now not only able to view your iCloud Drive files, you also can view all the files on your Apple device. You either view your recent files or you can browse by tags or just browse through your iCloud Drive. Number 4, the new calculator. Apple really is sticking to this new round design of the buttons. I'm not really sure whether I like it or not yet. Number 5, the new advanced notes features. Apple really picked up the pace on the Notes app. Once again they released a bunch of new features with iOS 11. One little improvement that I noticed is that if you have an existing note and you swipe from right to left, you can move it into a new or an existing folder. Now you can insert a bunch of new features into your notes. One of those things is a spreadsheet. You can define how many rows and columns you want to use. You can insert different mediums into your notes. You either can scan an existing document, or you take an existing photo, or you draw a new sketch. And as before, you have a different set of tools at your disposal. Improved machine learning in photos. Apple has been using machine learning in their Photos app for a while now. Faces are way better recognized than before and they are a better match to already existing persons. Number 7, iPhone storage management. In the Settings, General and iPhone storage area, you can define different settings how you can optimize your iPhone storage. You can now not only optimize your photos in the cloud, you also can do that with your messages. You also can choose to automatically delete messages or attachments that are older than 1 year. In the lower part you can see your installed apps, how many space they take and the last time they were used. Unload apps. With this new feature in iOS 11, installed apps are being removed if you're running out of space, but your user data won't be touched. But there is a catch: if the app isn't available anymore in the App Store, you won't be able to reinstall it later. Background app refresh. Under Settings, General and Background app refresh you can reach this area. This isn't a new feature, but now you can choose whether you want your apps to update themselves on your mobile data or just on Wi-Fi. And now the biggest change in iOS 11, the new Control Center. As usual, you can reach the Control Center settings under Settings in General. You will immediately notice that there are a bunch of new settings in there. I added all the available options, so let's check them out. The whole Control Center was redesigned. Apple decided to utilize their Force Touch technology heavily in this area. In the top left corner, Apple decided to put the connectivities. But I don't know why Apple still missed to implement a VPN button. This would be so helpful. So Apple, if you're listening, please finally add the VPN connection button. Torch brightness settings. In the old iOS versions you were already able to set the torch brightness with a Force Touch. Now you have the option to set the brightness within 4 steps. Number 12. Setting seconds in the timer. This feature was long overdue. In previous iOS versions you weren't able to set seconds for the timer, but Apple finally got to it and changed this situation, so now you can set even seconds for your timer. Number 13. HOMEKIT Quick Access. Apple unfortunately also redesigned the HOMEKIT access area. You need to force touch on the HOMEKIT logo in the control center area in order to get access to your HOMEKIT. Number 14. Screen recording. Apple finally decided to implement a solution how you can record your screen without any additional software. But there is a downside to it because they always keep this blue banner up. I guess it would have been enough if they just placed an icon in the dock for it. Quick access to the wallet. Now you're able to access your wallet also through the control center. Do not disturb while driving. The Do Not Disturb While Driving feature is completely new in iOS 11 and has been demanded for a long time now. It disables all notifications if you don't have a CarPlay ready car. Number 17. The Magnifier. The magnifier is also not a new feature in iOS 11, but Apple decided to make it easy accessible so you can zoom in and out with your camera lens, and you can adjust the brightness or the contrast settings, and you even can invert the colors. Number 18. Quick Compose Notes. With a force touch you now can easily compose a new note, checklist, photo or a new sketch. Number 19. Quick Adjust the font size. You can now easily adjust the font size in 6 steps. Number 20. Recording voice memos. A lot of people will love this new feature. You can now start recording voice memos right from your control center. Number 21. The alarm clock and stopwatch. In order to access your stopwatch or your alarm clock, you no longer need to go through your timer. You can now directly access them through your control center. Number 22. The low power mode. You can now easily toggle the low power mode. Number 23. The Apple TV remote. You now no longer need to open an app to control your Apple TV. You can do it right from the control center in the future.
So those are the 23 new features I found in the new iOS 11 developer version. What do you think? Did you find any other new features I missed? Tell me in the comments below and tell me what you like about the new features and what you don't. And as always, thank you for watching and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. So see you guys next time.